should be here soon. Ish. Oh good, no one was waiting. Very, very good. Okay. I don't think anyone was waiting, were they? Nope. Oh, I hate this look for me right now. I really do. Let's see if giving myself some big ol' winged eyeliner is going to help at all. I mean, we can but try, right? No, I don't. Okay, does that make me feel more comfortable with my look? Does that make me enjoy it slightly? Crap. Hey! I'm not enjoying whatever look I've got going on right now. And I've just smudged liquid eyeliner all over my eyelid, so it's all going pretty well, actually. It's better than singing compulsively to the cats, which is what I have been doing. Trying to get Fitz to come out and eat his tea, but he doesn't want to come and eat it in the kitchen. He wants me to bring it to him in bed again. So, you know what I'm going to have to do? I'm going to have to do this stream and then bring it to him in bed. Because he's my boy and he gets everything he could ever dream of. I'm having an energy drink at night time because I have a caffeine headache and it's not something tea can cure. Ooh, that's cold. Hi, Jessie. Thank you. I'm not loving this whole. He is a little beast. He's a naughty bear. But he's a naughty bear who's going to get his dinner in bed, so. Just gonna, before we start, while we're still, you know, bullshitting and talking, I'm going to change my lipstick colour. Ooh. Yes. Yes, why not? I'm really not feeling the bright red, so I'll do this in a very scientific way. Is she? Oh, it's so unlike Fitz though. He usually never sleeps on my bed, so. He used to sleep on the bed when it was Mum and Dad's. He would sleep on Dad's feet, but he's just not keen. But now he is. So, recap. The Fears have been seeing Abigail's ghost. Well, they all think they have. And, Jane Fear, the mother, who is particularly upset. They're all particularly upset, actually. How's that? feel like my mouth is lopsided somehow. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Don't focus on the lipstick. Okay, so all the Fear family have been dreaming they've been seeing Abigail. And Jane Fear, the mother, she has, very sadly, been drowned in the well. And clutched in her hands is the little white lace cap with blue ribbons that Abigail used to wear when she was alive and had a head. You know, all of that stuff. So Jonathan is, fairly upset. And he's gone to see Delilah Wilson, whom he loves, because she's so beautiful. He's gone to see her. Sorry, I'm trying to get comfy. I just saw back from fucking PMS. To tell her all about this. And she said, oh no, this is terrible. We're moving away forever. And he's like, wait, what? No, why? And she's like, because I am a good. Bum, bum, bum. I can't remember the tune of Dark Shadows. No, I can't remember. I've got Willow Whaley in my head instead. Okay, so is that enough of a recap, really? Because we ended on that. We had Janie died, or Jane. No one ever called her Janie. Hey. Wow. And the podcast bubble has to burst at some point, right? I'm hoarding whatever I think the next thing is going to be. So I just hoard everything that I see. I hope it's rubbish. Anyway. Is this fringe distracting? It's falling completely on my face. Anyway, The Secret. Chapter 15. Delilah has just said, Jonathan, I am a good... Jonathan stared at her. He opened his mouth to speak, but no sound came out. How can you be a good? He demanded. I thought your name was Wilson. We changed our name, Delilah explained. We once lived in another town near Boston, but when word of the plague in Wickham reached our town, our neighbours drove us out. They had heard rumours that the Goods were responsible for the plague, so they shunned us. We moved west, and Father changed our name. We became the Wilsons. Both, Nick. Horde and Horde. I really hope I don't get lipstick on my teeth during this. I'll be able to tell because I'll be looking, but you know. Jonathan suddenly felt very dizzy. He rubbed his temples with his fingers. I wanted to tell you my name was Good, Delilah said. I knew I should be honest, but I liked you both so much. I did not want to scare you away. I thought that maybe there really was no curse. She paused and gazed at Jonathan. You did not believe in the curse, she said softly to him, and you are so smart and kind. Yeah. I thought that if you did not believe it, then it could not be true. I did not want to believe it, Jonathan said. I wanted to be happy. I'm eliminating consonants altogether. A sad smile crossed Delilah's face. I am afraid we cannot deny it any longer, she whispered. There is a curse on your family. A curse on both of our families. She swallowed hard. My back hurts, okay? My back hurts. It's normal. She swallowed hard. There is only one way to stop the curse. Jonathan's heart pounded harder. There's a way to stop it? He demanded breathlessly, hardly daring to hope it was true. What is it? Delilah avoided his eyes. It involves some sacrifice, she said, blushing. On your part. I will do anything, Jonathan cried. Please, Delilah, tell me how to break the curse. She took a deep breath. The feuding families must unite. They must form an unshakable bond. How? Jonathan asked. Marriage, Delilah replied, still avoiding his eyes. A good and a fair must marry. She needs his hair, yeah. But that is very simple, Rachel interrupted. Nosy bitch. You two can get married. Kneeling, Jonathan took Delilah's hand and kissed it joyfully. How can you call that a sacrifice, Delilah? I'm already in love with you. You must know that by now. I love you so much, I would marry you even if it brought a new curse down upon me and my family. Tears streamed down Delilah's cheeks. Jonathan, he stopped her. Please, dear Delilah, before you say another word, I must ask for your hand in marriage. She smiled through her tears and struggled to speak. I love you too, Jonathan, she replied softly. But I'm afraid. Oh yeah, he's saying it in front of his sister. He doesn't, really give a shit or understand what he's saying. What are you afraid of? He asked. You're not afraid of me, are you? No, I am not afraid of you. I am afraid of the curse. I'm afraid that something could happen. Something terrible to stop our wedding. As it has so many times in the past in all the stories you told me. Nothing can stop me from marrying you, Jonathan declared, rising to his feet. And to make sure of that, we shall marry as soon as possible. Your father can marry us. He is a minister. He can do it today, before anything can happen. Delilah's face lit up. Horny. Smiling, she wiped the tears from her cheeks. He is at the church right now. Oh, Jonathan, I am so happy. I can hardly believe this is happening. Jonathan smiled at her, but deep inside him a question still burned. Could this marriage really end the curse, once and for all? Could that be possible? We will be sisters, Delilah, Rachel exclaimed. I will be a witness at the ceremony. Jonathan had almost forgotten his sister was there. Yeah, no shit. No, Rachel, he ordered. Run home and stay with Papa. He'll be wondering where you are now, and he must not find you here. Run home, please. Hurry! That was supposed to be hurry. In the tiny clapboard church, Jonathan gripped Delilah's hand. Her father, the Reverend Wilson, stood behind a simple altar facing them, a worn black leather Bible in his hands. I, Jonathan, take thee, Delilah. Jonathan repeated the minister's words, hardly knowing what he said. His heart was racing. His only desire was to get safely through the ceremony, and then to hold his new wife in his arms. Ooh, I think he likes her. Yeah, you do need a witness, but I don't know. A lot of stuff happens in the Fair Street books that's kind of insane and wouldn't work. Now Delilah repeated the vows. Jonathan stole a glance at his beautiful bride. He only wished his mother was still alive to share this moment. The ceremony was nearly over. In moments I will be married, he thought. I was meant to be married. I lost all the R's. And the curse would be ended. The fears and the goods would be joined. The Reverend Wilson cleared his throat. If anyone knows of just cause why these two should not be united in holy matrimony, let him speak now, or forever hold his peace. Silence. And then a startling crash. Spinning around, Jonathan saw that the doors of the small church had flown open. Rachel. Silhouetted against the bright daylight outside, a man came into focus. What is that in his hand? Jonathan wondered, squinting into the bright rectangle of light. A rifle? Ezra! Stop at once! Ezra screamed. He burst into the church and strode up the aisle, rifle in hand. Rachel burst in behind him. Jonathan, I'm sorry, she cried, her voice shrilled with fear. Papa made me tell. I'm sorry. The little girl tugged desperately at her father's arm, trying to hold him back. Ezra pushed his daughter roughly aside and continued down the aisle. Thank you, darling. Hello. Hello, darling. No. No, that's a food bag for humans. It's got human food inside it, okay? You just come here and see all the people. Hey, Josh. Delilah has revealed that she is a good and that the way to end the curse is for a good to marry a fear. They're getting married in secret in a little chapel. Her dad is marrying them. He's the minister. Mwah. Mwah. But right before they can, the door bursts open and it's Ezra. No! You want to hop down or are you happy? Yeah, she seems happy. The little girl tugged desperately at her father's arm, trying to hold him back. Ezra pushed his daughter roughly aside and continued down the aisle. His eyes narrowed on Jonathan, his features set in hard fury. Stop this wedding, he demanded. He stopped and raised the rifle to his shoulder. Ah! Nice hands, please. Polite hands. Look, a rifle can be a witness, I think. Stop the wedding, he demanded. He stopped and raised the rifle to his shoulder. All goods must die. Jonathan felt his heart skip. Papa, no, he screamed. With a desperate cry, he dived towards his father and grabbed the gun, trying to take it from him. They struggled. Delilah raised her hands to her face and screamed. Ah! Traitor! Ezra snarled bitterly to his son. How could you do this to me? Rifle wedding is the opposite of a shotgun wedding, that's correct. Papa, give me the gun, Jonathan demanded. The two men wrestled over it, their shoes scuffling over the wooden floorboards. Give it to me, Jonathan pleaded, not intending to sound kind of funny. He tugged hard and pulled the rifle free. As Jonathan staggered back with it, the rifle went off. Whoa. Look, when they spell out the scream, I get to do it. Jonathan uttered a startled cry as the sound echoed through the tiny church. He heard a sharp cry, ah! And turned to the altar. Delilah stood as if... Wait, where's my red flag? It's in the description. Red flag for any gore. Hi, Chris. Yeah, the preacher's like, I thought I knew what today was going to be like. Delilah stood as if suspended by wires, her features twisted in shock and horror. A red stain appeared on the front of her white dress. Why she's wearing white before Queen Victoria popularised white as a wedding dress colour, I do not know. You would have to ask Delilah. Jonathan stared helplessly as the stain darkened and spread. I've shot Delilah, he realised. Chapter 16. Checking for gore, checking for gore. Yeah, no, it's not too bad. Red flag gone. Chapter 16. Delilah! Jonathan screamed her name in a choked voice he didn't recognise. Delilah! And let the rifle fall. Before he could run to her, Delilah's eyelids slid shut. She uttered a faint gasp. Oh! And slumped to the floor. Jonathan dropped beside her. Delilah! Delilah! He called her name again and again. But he knew she could not hear him now. The dark blood puddled beneath her white dress. Oh, Delilah! Jonathan sobbed, cradling her head in his arms. Behind him, Jonathan heard a click. He turned. Ezra had picked up the rifle, which he was now pointing at the minister's head. The minister is her dad, remember? All goods will die, Ezra said calmly, hate burning in his eyes. The Reverend Wilson fell to his knees beside his daughter's lifeless body. Please do not shoot me, he cried. Please? Jonathan gently laid Delilah's body on the floor. How did this man kneel beside his daughter's lifeless body if it's not on the floor already? Fuck it. Don't think about it. Jonathan gently laid Delilah's body on the floor and stepped toward his father. Papa, please. Ezra levelled the rifle at Jonathan. Do not get in my way again, son, he growled, his voice hard and sharp as a steel blade. I am warning you. Jonathan said nothing. Ezra turned back to the minister. All goods will die, he repeated. Reverend Wilson clasped his hands together as if in prayer. Please do not shoot me, he begged again. I am not a good. Your lies will not succeed with me, Ezra snapped. You cannot save yourself. My wife is dead because of you. And now you must pay the price. I've seen John Wick. I know what's up. Delilah's father shook in terror. It is true, I swear to you. I am not a good. Delilah was not a good either. He turned to Jonathan and added, Jonathan, she lied to you. Chapter 17. Oh my god, Jonathan absolutely should kill Ezra. He was the baby no one liked, then the child no one liked. Now he's the adult no one likes. Come on, caffeine, do your thing. Chapter 17. What are you saying? Jonathan cried in disbelief. Do not listen to him, boy, Ezra urged coldly. He is only looking for a way to save himself. Meow to you too, madam. I am telling the truth, the minister insisted. It was all a trick, a fraud, I swear it. Jonathan ignored his father and the rifle. A trick? He repeated weakly, grabbing the front of Reverend Wilson's robe. A trick? I wanted Delilah to marry you, Jonathan, the minister sputtered, his eyes on Ezra's rifle. We are so poor, you see, and you are so well off. Delilah, she came home and told me the story of your feud with the goods. I had an idea. I saw it as a way we could use it to trick you into marrying her. To trick me, Jonathan muttered. He's still having trouble with the idea. I made her do it, the minister cried. I forced her to. He lowered his gaze to his daughter's body. He stared at it for a moment, as if he had just realized that she was dead. Then, with a shudder, he pulled his eyes away. Delilah was a good girl at heart, Reverend Wilson muttered. A good girl. This is all nonsense, Ezra snarled. Prepare to die, good. I have waited so long, all my life, for this chance. You will not cheat me of my revenge with your desperate lies. Please, Papa, Jonathan begged, pushing the rifle aside. Let him speak. I forced Delilah to pretend that she was a good, Reverend Wilson confessed sadly. But I knew you would not marry her just because of that. So she made you think your dead sister was haunting you. She made terrible screaming noises at night. Delilah filled your well bucket with chicken blood. She made a cap with blue ribbons on it, like the one she saw in a painting of your sister. And she climbed your rose trellis to appear in your windows at night. Scooby-Doo ending! Ezra lowered the rifle. His face grew red and his jaw trembled as he listened. Delilah lured your mother outside with that blue ribboned cap, the minister continued in a quivering voice. She threw it into the well. Your mother leaned over to retrieve it and she fell in the well. He swallowed hard. Delilah tried to help her, but she couldn't reach her. Delilah, what the fuck did you think would happen? You killed Jane on purpose, you little bitch. He stopped again. He was breathing noisily, his chest heaving under his dark robe. Sexy. Why? Jonathan asked. Why did you make Delilah do all this? Yeah, this is a much better reason to shoot him than him being part of a family that cursed yours or you cursed them or something. Some kind of curse happened. We had to frighten you, to make you desperate, answered the clergyman. So desperate you would do anything to stop the horrors. So desperate you would marry Delilah. We were so poor, you see. So poor. Wow, I'm glad Delilah's dead and she's not alive to hear her father talk like this about her. Yeah, exactly, Chris. It's crazy. But I loved her, said Jonathan. I would have married her anyway. He dropped to his knees beside Delilah's dead body. Her mouth had fallen open, and a trickle of blood ran down her chin. It's true, that is the PG-13 way to show that someone's dead. Jonathan stared at the body as if it belonged to a stranger. The minister shuddered violently now. I know you cannot forgive me, he pleaded with Ezra, but please do not kill me. Yeah, right. I remembered it. I remembered this plot twist a little bit after Delilah appeared in the book, and I was like, oh wait, that's right. Ezra's face hung slack. The anger faded from his eyes, and the rifle fell from his hands and clattered on the church floor. My wife, my daughter, he murmured. The curse. His face had become as pale as Delilah's. His thin lips barely moved as he whispered, the curse. The fears are truly cursed. Wow, he doubted it before now. His hands flew to his head and he uttered a sorrowful wail and tore at his greying hair. Then he ran from the church, screaming. Jonathan heard a hoarse whinny, then a piercing scream, and finally a sickening crunch. Red flag for gore? Actually, no, that's not too gory. Although my standards are a little bit skewed. Chapter 18. What was that? Jonathan cried, knowing the answer to his question. He ran outside. A small crowd had gathered around a horse and wagon. Are they in the middle of nowhere or are they not? Jonathan shouted, Papa! Papa! And pushed through the silent crowd. Papa! Jonathan cried, seeing Ezra sprawled on his back, a dark open wound in his side, blood puddling on the dirt street. Get the doctor! Someone cried. This man has been trampled. Dewey, I'm cut in half pretty bad. You have to Walk Hard, the Dewey Cox story. You just have to watch it. Jonathan knelt beside his father. Ezra's eyes rolled around blindly for a second. Then they focused on Jonathan. Ezra lifted his hand and let it fall on the silver amulet. Take this, he whispered to Jonathan. He closed his eyes for a moment, gathering his strength. Jonathan. His voice grew weak. The power of the fears is in this amulet. You must wear it always, and use it. Use it to avenge my death. 'Cause living for vengeance worked out really well for me. I want that for you, son. I want that wonderful life. Ezra took a shuddering breath. Yeah, Walk Hard changed my life, and it led me to shout stuff like, this is a dark fucking period in my life. Ezra took a shuddering breath, then blood poured from his mouth. His eyes froze in a fixed and lifeless stare. Hey there, Delilah, what's it like in New York City this summer? Yeah, that'd be good. That would work. I could see that. Also, I apologize for singing on stream. You don't deserve that. Papa, cried Jonathan. Papa. Jonathan buried his face in his hands and sank deeply into his sorrow. So many people have died, he thought. Abigail, Mama, Delilah, Papa, all because of this dreaded curse. His father's strange silver pendant glinted in the sun. The curse dies with my father, Jonathan thought. I will put an end to it here now. No minister would give Ezra a funeral or allow his body to be buried in a church cemetery. He had been insane and a murderer. Reverend Wilson had warned, so Jonathan had Ezra's body cremated. Now all that remained of Ezra was a jar of ashes. Are you sure that's what you did? Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Yeah, Jonathan explodes a horse with the power of evil. Rachel cried herself to sleep. Jonathan listened helplessly to her sobs, every cry torturing him. Well, look, if Jonathan had put a ring on it the moment he knew that he liked it, none of that would have happened. But Delilah and her dad would have come up with some other completely mad scheme to psychologically terrorize him and kill his family. So he sat by the hearth, waiting for Rachel's crying to stop. At last the house grew still, and he knew she was asleep. He took Ezra's ashes and poured them into an iron strongbox. Then he picked up the silver pendant. To Jonathan's surprise, the pendant grew hot in his hand. He saw flames. Flames he thought would swallow him up. But the flames died as quickly as they had appeared, and the jeweled pendant cooled. Jonathan examined the pendant, felt its weight against his palm. His father's last words echoed in his mind. Use it to avenge my death. No, thought Jonathan. No more revenge. No more feud. No more curse. I am sorry, Papa, he whispered, but I cannot let our family suffer any longer. There's still Rachel. He thought of his little sister, sleeping upstairs in her bedroom. She had already been through so much. But she might have a chance at happiness still. At least Jonathan hoped so. He would do everything in his power to make her happy. The first step, he decided, was to get rid of the pendant. He dropped it into the strongbox. It landed softly on top of Ezra's ashes. Jonathan closed the heavy iron lid and locked it. Then he took a lantern from its hook by the hearth, made his way out into the night, knelt beneath an apple tree, and with a spade he began to dig up the moist earth. Bitter memories leapt to his mind as he worked under the tree. He tried to force them away as soon as they arose, but they kept coming back. He remembered drinking lemon water with Rachel and Delilah one hot day, on that very spot. Delilah. I forgot to buy a lemon. I'm going to buy a lemon tomorrow. If any of you remember to tweet buy a lemon at me tomorrow, that would be quite helpful actually. But like after 10:30. After 11. Ow. He stopped digging and shoved the iron box in the hole. Then he scooped dirt back on top of the box. Yeah, that's how you do it. This box is Papa's coffin, Jonathan thought. This shallow hole, his grave. This lonely, secret ceremony is his funeral. Papa and the cursed pendant will be buried here forever. Jonathan finished filling the hole and smoothed the dirt. He left nothing to mark the spot. Oh, they started by burying people. Well, animals and then people. After 11, buy a lemon. Oh, God, it rhymes. That's so good. It is done, Jonathan thought. He stood and wiped the dirt from his hands. That is the end of the horror. The curse is finished. The feud is over. The fierce and the goods will suffer no more. Shadyside Village, 1900. Oh shit, I think this is the end of the book. No, this is the end of part 2 of The Secret. The feud was not over. Yeah, okay, Shadyside Village, the year 1900. As I think all of you remember, this is being written down by Nora from the beginning. Nora's entire body tensed as she listened. She held her breath as the footsteps in the hall came closer and closer to her room. She waited for them to stop at her door, but they passed by. She exhaled, then picked up her pen and began to write again. Jonathan Fear hoped he could bury the curse along with Ezra's ashes, she wrote. And it seemed to be true. The evil stayed buried for 100 years. Shit, that's not bad for a fucking dummy like Jonathan. For 100 years, the Goods and the Fears lived in peace. In fact, the feud was forgotten. Children grew up hearing none of the horrifying stories. They knew nothing of the curse upon the two families. But it is not easy to end a curse, Nora thought. Jonathan Fear's great-great-granddaughter innocently unleashed the evil once again. And during that 100 years of sleep, the evil power had grown even stronger. Nora touched the pendant around her neck. Oh, she thought mournfully, if only it had stayed buried forever, ... End of part 2. And tomorrow, because, you know, I'm tired. I had my vaccine. I'm tired. Tomorrow we're going to start part 3, Western Massachusetts, 1843. And I guess somebody will have to have a new stupid voice. Darn. But who and what will it be? Yeah. Alright. Thank you so much for being here, everybody. It's so much fun reading this shit with you. It's great. I like it. Yeah, we did the vampire already, or we did a weird kind of vaguely Eastern European one. Peter Capaldi, Peter Capaldi voice. I don't know if it's Peter Capaldi, but I can do the Scottish voice. And I will. Thank you. Thank you, all of yous. Okay, I'll throw a vampire in later on. There'll be a Scot and a vampire, okay? And everyone else will talk normally. Peter fucking Capaldi. Oh yeah, like the video if you want to like it. That'd be cool. You could be like, damn, I like this. And I'd be like, wow, that's what's up. Be crazy if that happened. Yeah, a vampire if you're good. Peter fucking Capaldi if you're bad. And both if I decide not to make value judgments. Alright. Good night, everyone. Ka kite anō. Good night. Go and fuck off and wash your fucking hands. I don't care. I love you.